Welcome to Springdale High School football. As tonight, the Springdale Bulldogs take on the Bentonville Tigers at Gerald Williams Bulldog Stadium. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rick Schaefer. This is head coach Gus Malzahn. Gus, is that the biggest offensive line you've ever seen?
That's a pretty big offensive line for high school. You know, our defensive line, we got to stay low, and, you know, we've got to get off the blocks.
Is it a concern of yours that they could be trying to keep the ball away from you with their offense?
Yeah, it definitely is. We feel like they're going to come out running the ball, especially early, to test our defensive line, test our linebackers. And, you know, we're not near as big, so we're going to have to play tough. We're going to have to stay low. And, you know, the first probably quarter or so, it'll be a good indication if we can slow them down or not.
You're a little bit beat up. Healthy enough to win this one?
I think so. You know, we in the spots we are missing kids, we've got some kids who are ready to play football. And we've had a good week of practice. Our guys understand our backs against the wall. We understand we're playing a very good football team, but we've got home field advantage, and I think our guys are ready to play.
Springdale has beaten Bentonville so frequently. Is there a psychological edge when you have that type of an advantage?
I think so. I think you got to use whatever advantage you have, and that's definitely one that you know, their kids grew up thinking that way, and our kids did too. They're you know, they got a lot of talent, but we do have that going for us.
That's Gus Malzahn. Robert Farrell and I will be back with you right after this. Yep, he's going to kick it off for Springdale. Bentonville won the toss, decided to take the ball first rather than to first. Skelton kicks the ball way back and into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Bentonville will start at its 20, and sometimes, Robert, little things like the opening kickoff can give you some momentum.
Well, again, we're starting at the 20-yard line. That's pretty deep for high school. About as deep as you can go unless you don't get it out past there, obviously. But this gives defense for Springdale a chance to set the tempo early. We're going to see what they do against that really big Bentonville offensive line.
Big offensive line. They average about 270. They have two outstanding running backs, both of whom went over 100 yards last week. They have Schlegenhoff at quarterback. He, of course, is very, very good. He hands the ball straight forward, and Springdale is right there to make the tackle. An excellent tackle by Blake Bennett of the Bulldogs. And that carry was by Derek Hartman. Hartman last week got 140 yards on 17 carries. He scored 2 touchdowns. He had 140 yards. Chris Christians had 131 yards, and that was against Fort Smith Northside, who many thought was the best team in the state before last week.
You know, Rick, right there, we talked about it before the game started. How do they play defense against this big line? You saw it right there. Read your keys and do what you're supposed to do. We tackled them for only a 1-yard gain.
There's a sweet pitch. It's Hartman again. He uses a good hold, breaks through the line, cuts back. He's got a big gain, and finally a shoestring down at the 45-yard line. Good hustle by Tyler Parks to make the tackle in the secondary, but what a run by Hartman. That pitch started as a sweep left, and then he cut back across guard, and he picks up 24 yards.
Cut back against the grain. I'll tell you, as he's coming downfield, Rick, Bentonville was continuing to block downfield. They would make a block, they'd get up and continue down, and Hartman did a good job running off his blockers, and then at the end got all he could get.
Hartman still the tailback. He's a single back now behind Schlegenhoff. He goes back. He's going to pass for the first time. It's a little slip screen. He's got a man that breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and that's Shaylin Aswell, who's averaging 20 yards a catch, and he just picked up a first down, 19 yards to the Springdale 36, a quick hitter. And Robert, if the first man misses you on a play like that, it's going to be a big game.
Well, a lot of times you'll see Gus put single coverage out on the wide receiver like that, and just like you said, if he can make the first man miss him, he's got a lot of green in front of him. Bentonville has done a good job so far with execution.
They're at the Springdale 36. They're going to run it in and around. Allen is spotted. It was Hartman, who's usually the tailback. He was lined up as a wingback. And he's smacked for a loss. Excellent tackle by Tyler Parks. He was right there. That play loses 3, and Bentonville will have 2nd and 13.
Well, sometimes, Rick, you know, it takes 2 or 3 plays to get into the rhythm of a ball game. Springdale had a good stop on the first play. Bentonville made some yardage, big yardage, 2 and 3, but we stopped him here. Now it's 2nd and 13. Quick opener up the middle, and they had him for no gain.
That hand to the fullback. He breaks 2 tackles, and before Daniel McKinley can bring him down, Lucas Marcus Clark carries to the 32-yard line. That's a pickup of 7, as Robert said. They had him in the backfield. It still brings up 3rd and 6.
You know, Rick, one of the things we've seen about the Springdale defense, we have seen some missed tackles from this defense all year. We're starting a lot of new guys this year, had played a lot of experience, but they do not break very often.
Schlagenhoff drills that slant pattern. It's complete for a first down. He threw it quickly. Chris Bosch was the receiver. He takes it down inside the Springdale 15 to the 14-yard line. Schlagenhoff very sharp, and that's an 18-yard gain. An 18-yard gain brings up first down. Chris Bosch, the receiver, and boy, every time you name one of these Bentonville guys, you're saying senior. It's a big senior group, 31 seniors on this team. They've moved to the Springdale 14-yard line where they have first down. Schlagenhoff fakes up the middle. He was going to throw a screen. They had it covered, and now they do make the catch out there. It's going to be a short gain. Springdale had it covered, and then you get to the point, Robert, where you have to make a commitment. If you either have to go for the quarterback or the receiver, they attack the quarterback. Still, the play only gains 2 yards.
Couldn't really tell if Schlagenhoff was just trying to throw the ball away or just put it over there where either the receiver would catch it or would go out of bounds. The receiver made a nice one-handed stop on that ball, caught it, picked up 2 or 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 at the 12-yard line.
At the 12, here's Hartman again. Big hole, or that's Christians. It's Christians, and he breaks near the goal line, doesn't get the touchdown. That's Chris Christians. He's 5'10", 180. Broke through a hole over the middle. Boy, this offensive line is good. He goes all the way to the 1. It's a pickup of 11. And this has been some kind of drive by Bentonville from its own 20 to the Springdale 1.
Well, and Bentonville showed everyone that they can run the ball, they can throw it downfield, they can throw the quick opener. I mean, this is a pretty versatile offense, what we've seen so far, Rick.
Full house backfield. Christian gets the call. Hit the goal line, dives in, touchdown. And Bentonville goes 80 yards in 9 plays on the first drive. And Robert, a very diversified drive. It wasn't just handing the ball off. They had nice passing plays mixed in.
They really did. It wasn't anything that was extremely dangerous. They threw some quick openers. They had screens set up. They ran a reverse, but it was, kind of an inside reverse. They may gamble on you, but right now they just show Springdale they can take it right down the field with good old-fashioned smash-mouth football, and they converted the extra point also.
Brian Barber kicks the extra point. 7:54 to go in the first quarter. Bentonville 7, Springdale nothing. Bentonville kicks off, leading 7-0, and that kickoff is going to be touched by Johnson and picked up by Fairs at the 1-yard line. He's going to have to avoid a lot of trouble to get out of there. He only gets back to the 3-yard line, and that's trouble for Springdale because that's where they're going to have to start, at the 3-yard line. And Bentonville looks like an unbeaten team in the early going, don't they, Robert?
Well, they have a little bit of a swagger about them and everything that they do, and even right there, sometimes when things are going right, they just continue to go right. The kicker for Bentonville kicked a ball that had a little bit of a knuckleball to it, kind of went over the first man's head. Ben caught it, ran about 35 yards sideways.
To get 2, up to the 3-yard line. Moody's the quarterback. It's going to be a straight-ahead handoff, and met after a pickup of 3 is Mark Young. Mark Young picked up 75 yards last week against Russellville. And Robert, I know that Gus likes to throw the football, but the running game was effective last week.
Well, it really was. And last week we had Zach Boland and Mounts and Young, all 3 in there. Of course, Boland's out this week, and Young and Mounts are going to have to carry the load.
There's a quick pass to Cooper. He uses a block to get up over the 11 to the 15. He's to the 16. It's a first down. And, so frequently this year we've seen Cooper just take off and run the deep route. You've got to give him a cushion out there, which makes you vulnerable to that type of play, and it's a first down.
Well, that's a quick opener. I mean, that's almost like the old pitch sweep, where you put it in your fast guy's hands quick, get that ball out you want. Same play to the left, and Nelson makes the first man miss.
He tries to make a man miss him. He is tackled out there on the 21-yard line. That's a pickup of 5 yards before Tyler Morgan makes the tackle. Springdale, of course, in the no huddle.
A lot of times, Rick, you give a throwing quarterback, a throwing offense like this, 2 or 3 or 4 in a row, whether they're long or short, it starts getting into a rhythm, a little bit of a self-confidence, and you saw Gus throw some safe ones here. He throws out to, he's open.
Well, I don't know.
That could be offensive.
Yeah, it could be offensive because Cooper wasn't looking for the ball. He wasn't looking for the ball. The defender was, and Cooper kind of got in his way while the ball was in the air, so we'll wait and see what the call is. Mooney had Fairs in the area, and he had Cooper in the area, and because Cooper was not looking for the football, he's called for offensive interference. It would have been 3rd and 5, but the Bulldogs will pay heavily for that mistake.
Well, and Rick, it just looked like either Cooper or Moody thought one thing and the other one thought something different, because Moody thought he was heading out to the sidelines through a nice pass out there, and Coop just kept going up the field.
That's going to be a 10-yard penalty. Springdale will get the down over, but now has 2nd and 15 from its own 11. Moody had plenty of time to throw.
They're calling it 3rd down.
Okay, that's a loss of down also then, so that's a tough call for Springdale. Now it's 3rd and 15 from their own 11-yard line. Moody back, has some time. He's going out there for Ferris. It's almost intercepted. It went over the hands of Ferris and into the hands of James Ferguson and then out of his hands, so it's incomplete. Again, Cooper and Ferris were in the vicinity. It was a little bit too tall for Ferris, and Springdale's going to have to punt. It'll be 4th down and 15 from the 11.
You know, Rick, last week in Russellville it was a little cool and passes didn't look real crisp, and we've got a little breeze in the air tonight. When you have a night like this, Moody just needs to go ahead and let it go. Go ahead and throw the ball. Don't try to guide it, because it will float in this air.
Leahy punts it. It's going to hit in front of the return man and gets a good roll. What a break for the Bulldogs. That ball is going to roll all the way to the Bentonville 32-yard line before it's down. A heck of a punt. 51 yards for Leahy, and we've seen him get some good kicks. If you don't get up and catch it, he's going to get some good roll.
Yes, he will. Brandon has a good strong leg like we talked about in the past. And I'll tell you what, he has gotten some excellent rolls in some of the games that we've watched so far.
5:24 to go, first quarter. Bentonville starts at its own 32. The Tigers marched 80 yards with the first possession they had. Hartman's the tailback behind Schlagenhoff. 1st and 10. Schlagenhoff hands it to Hartman. He jumps over a would-be tackler and gets up to the 36-yard line. That's going to pick up a 4 yards. Hartman and Christians are quite a 1-2 combination.
Towards the end of that play, you saw from the bottom of your screen, Fancher running in, and number 9 from Bentonville, Ashwell, just gave him a little bit of a forearm. There was nothing mean or dirty about that. Fancher just a little bit off balance. It made it look a little bit rougher than it was, but I'm sure some of the buddies will give Fancher a pretty rough time this week about that.
2nd down and 6 for Bentonville. Schlagenhoff turns, going to throw the slant again, and he just threw it past Aswell, and that is the first incompletion of the night for Bentonville. On the first drive, Schlagenhoff was perfect. He was 3 out of 3, and the other 6 plays were running plays, and Bentonville scored a touchdown on an 80-yard drive. Now the Tigers face 3rd and 6 at their own 36.
We've seen Bentonville go to that single receiver with single coverage. I think that's the 3rd or 4th time already this evening. They see something that they like out there at the top of our defense. 5
wideouts now, 3 left, 1 right. There's a throw in the middle. It's a slant pattern. It's complete. It's caught by Weston Geigel, and that's another senior, and he's going to pick up a first down at the Bentonville 49-yard line, so that's a pickup of 13.
You know, Rick, it's just amazing. Bentonville, Springdale, Rogers, Fayetteville, Russellville, all these teams that have run the ball forever just seem like overnight have turned into passing teams, and they do it very effectively.
Schlagenhoff's back there by himself. He wants to throw it quickly. He does. And a missed tackle is going to allow this play to go some yards, as well as inside the 35-yard line. He's all the way down to the 34. So that's a pickup of 17 yards, and you can see why he averages so many yards per catch. He's quick.
Oh, he's real quick. 5'9", 160 pounds. He has some wheels, but I tell you, he caught the ball and immediately just put the Springdale defender in the dirt. Made a great move there, and then went on up off a block and picked up another 15 yards after he cleared the line of scrimmage.
Now they line up in that power formation. Hartman gets the ball. A man in the backfield, and what a a tackle that was by Andrew Venable. That's a run stump there. He got into the backfield and spilled Hartman before he could get started. That's a loss of a yard.
Andrew's been having some back spasms the last 2 weeks. Has really hurt his back in the last 2 games and not practiced 100% all week. Maybe in a little bit of pain tonight, but I tell you, none of these Bulldogs have an ounce of quit in them, and he's a good example.
Schlagenoff has Hartman back there with him. A 4-man front for Springdale. He's got time now. It closes in, and now Schlagenoff runs out of the pocket and throws it too tall. Too tall for Weston Geigel, who was smacked by Johnson after the pass went over his hands, and it'll be 3rd down. First time the Bulldogs have been able to get some pressure on Schlagenoff.
Well, they got pressure up front, and the secondary was a part of that. They just did not let any of the receivers get open, and Schlagenoff started to his left and had to retreat this way. Never did find a real good open receiver.
He's a veteran, Schlagenoff. He got hurt about mid-season last year, came back, wasn't as effective, but he's having a great year this year. It's 3rd down, 11 for Bentonville. Schlagenoff back, blitz comes. He beats it with a pass. It's not going to be a first down. Johnson prevents the first down as Tyler Morgan makes the catch and is dropped immediately at the 26-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 2 for Bentonville.
Got a lot of those Bentonville linemen motioning at the coach, let's go for it. And I've got to apologize for comment earlier. I talked about maybe some missed tackles. I think Johnson just said, Mr. Farrell, you owe us an apology, and I apologize. That was a very good tackle.
That was a stick. They got a good spot on the ball, moved it up to close to the 25-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and a short 2. They line up in that power formation to Bentonville. Here's a toss sweep to Hartman. He gets hit, and he doesn't make a first down. What a hit by the defense. And that was Clark Donat, who met him in midair and blasted him backwards. And Springdale gets a break and gets a first down at its own 25.
Listen to this crowd. I mean, this crowd loves the defensive stand. They know a big lick when they see one. I mean, Bulldog fans are just phenomenal. We've heard about them forever. Let me tell you something. What they're applauding is a great, great athletic play by the right side of our defensive line there. They held their ground against bigger opponents, maybe stronger opponents, but they didn't want it as much as Bulldogs on that play.
It looked like Hartman was going to get the first down, and then Donat blasted him backward. It's first down from the 25 for Springdale. Young gets the call as he hit quickly, and no room to run that time for Young. Has a very good play by Michael Supino. Stops that play for no gain.
Well, I guess Bentonville has been practicing on how to tackle too, Rick. That was a good stick right there.
They're very good. Gary Ware has done a fantastic job with his Bentonville program, taking over the reins a month before practice started.
Watch out.
Moody rolls, pressure on. He's stacked. He's sacked. And that's that same man. That's Michael Supino. He comes in and makes the tackle on Moody. An excellent blitz by Supino came from the backside. Moody was just getting ready to throw the ball when he went down. It's a sack of -4. And Springdale is faced with 3rd and 14. On its last possession, they had 3rd and 15. Now Moody has time, and he throws it for Ferris, who makes the catch. He's away from the fence, and he's down the line. It'll be a touchdown if they don't call it back. There is a flag down. There is a flag down. Cooper was in the area. We'll have to wait and see if they call a pick down there, but Ferris did make the catch in front of Cooper at about the 45-yard line, and he streaked the rest of the way for the touchdown. We'll see the call. Defensive pass interference, and it's a touchdown. It's a touchdown, and here comes the whole Bentonville coaching staff. Here comes the whole Bentonville coaching staff. They don't like that call. Ferris gets the touchdown. It's a 79-yard play. And I can tell you, Robert, Cooper and Ferris were in the same area. And I know the Bentonville staff is concerned that maybe Cooper picked a defender. The officials are saying they hit Cooper rather than he picked them. I'm assuming that's what the call is. Nonetheless, it's a touchdown at 7-6, and Anderson ties the game. 79-yard touchdown pass. A stunning play for Springdale. We had to wait to see if it stood. It does. There's 2:31 to go in the first quarter. Springdale 7, Bentonville 7. Well, there's a big touchdown for Springdale as Moody hits Ferris 79 yards. Moody's already got the single-season record for most yards passing. That puts him over 1,400 this year, and a heck of a catch by Ferris. He knew what to do with it afterwards. It's 7-7, 2:31 to go. First quarter, Skelton kicks it high, deep, and returnable, and it's caught by Hartman at the 9. He's up over the 20, and he's got running room, and he blasts his way all the way to the 36-yard line. And they put their two good running backs back on kickoff return, and an excellent job by Hartman all the way to the 37.
You know, Rick, we were talking at the break. Cooper and the Bentonville defender ran into each other. Looked like the defender was breaking on the ball, and Cooper really wasn't coming back to the ball. You know, the Bentonville guys may have an argument for that. I don't know what you call it. We decided we just call it a touchdown and move on.
That's what the officials did, and that's whose opinion counts the most. And Springdale's advantage. Hartman takes a handoff and rips through a big hole, and he heads for the left sideline. Finally brought down at the Springdale 41-yard line by Bobby Smith. And Smith was the last man between Hartman and the goal line. He went all the way to the 40-yard line. That's 23 yards, and Bentonville has had some plays of 20 yards or more frequently here in the early going.
I'll tell you what, Rick, those offensive backs for Bentonville are breaking the line of scrimmage quick. Obviously, they have some holes, but they know what to do with it. When they get past there, they're breaking back across the lane. They are playing off their blockers, and they're making great gains here.
It's Tyman's Christian that he's going to get 6 yards. They've got a big senior offensive line. Aaron Dannenauer, one of the best centers in the state. He's going to be all-state, I'm sure. He's 6'5", 270. He's the center. Jacob Winter is one of the guards. Matt Perkins is the other guard. Jason Grimes a tackle. And Andrew Klingfoss is a tackle. And they do open holes. They're all seniors. They played together for quite some time.
I'm glad you practiced all those names.
6 yards on the last play. Nothing this time, though. Christians tried to go up the middle, and Springdale threw him backwards. And guess who was in on that tackle? Craig Marsh. Hard to believe that Craig Marsh is even playing this week. He was hurt a couple of weeks ago. The Bulldogs missed having him in the Russellville game. He's such a leader on that defense. He made that tackle. Gus Malzahn says he's only about 60% right now, but he made a good tackle there for no gain. And it's 3rd down and 4, a big 3rd down for Bentonville at the Springdale 34. They were down here a minute ago, didn't make it on 4th down. Schlagenhoff wants to throw quick, nobody's open. Pocket collapses, pressure on, man heads deep and can't get there. Breaking behind the secondary was Chris Brosh because he had so much time to throw. Venable was back there covering. Schlagenhoff threw it where nobody could catch it, and there is a flag on the play, so we'll wait and see what the call is. If the play would stand, it would be 4th down and 4 for Bentonville. No flag. There was a flag, but it didn't count, so the officials do that. Inadvertent flag is the call. It's 4th and 4. We'll see if Bentonville goes for this. They went for 4th and 1 at the Springdale 25 and didn't make it, and now they're going to send the punting unit out, or perhaps the field goal unit. Wow, now I will say this. Now they're going to punt it. I was going to say their kicker made a 52-yarder in the pregame, but they're going to punt the ball from the Springdale 34. Bulldogs don't believe it. They don't have anybody back now. Johnson's starting to drop back there. He's going to kick it for the sideline, and he's going to kick it for about no gain. That ball goes out of bounds at the 29-yard line. It's a 5-yard punt. That's a break for the Bulldogs.
Well, that's probably a little bit shorter pooch kick than they were anticipating, but the kickers for Bentonville and Warma, both place kicking and punting, they've got some ability. They were moving it. Of course, it was going towards the north. It was going with the wind. But as you said, the field goal kicker was kicking it 45 yards with no problem at all. And their punter was moving some 50, 55 yards on the fly. So that, they've got some ability.
There is a breeze blowing slightly from our right to our left, and Springdale has it to its advantage for another few seconds. Quick toss to Cooper at the 30, uses a block, gets away from one man, spins over the 40 to the 42, and he's exciting with the ball in his hands. A pickup of 13 yards.
Springdale has got to get the ball into the hands of the guys with speed, the guys that can make something happen, and that's just a little quick shot out to Cooper. And, of course, you see he can make something happen. I'll tell you, Rick, if he gets past one guy, I don't know anybody's going to catch him.
This one goes to Nelson on the left side. He's got one man to beat. He's not going to beat him. He's going to be brought down at the 45-yard line. The ball spins loose long after the whistle blows, and there's a flag down. And
I think we got unsportsmanlike maybe after he fumbled that, Rick.
Nonetheless, the play will go to the 45-yard line, a pickup of only 3. We'll have to wait and see what the penalty is. And we've seen flags thrown frequently in this first quarter. The play goes to the 45-yard line. That's where Heath Nelson took it, and then they call, look like defensive holding. I don't understand that. Once you got 3 tacklers and 1 receiver.
Well, I think they called a personal foul.
That's what it has to be.
The defender rolled up Heath and the ball came out. There was a little bit of a scuffle. Our attention went to the ball. There was a little bit of a scuffle, and the official pointed right at him. That's the only reason I saw it.
The ball's at the Bentonville 42. First down and 10 for Springdale. Last play of the quarter. Moody looks back. He throws it deep for Nelson. He's got his man tangled up and no catch. It's incomplete. Well defended. Nelson had a shot at it. Tyler Morgan was back there. Well defended. Well thrown by Moody. Incomplete. That's the end of a very exciting first quarter. At the end of one quarter, Springdale 7, Bentonville 7. At the Springdale 25, they made nothing. Springdale burned it with a long pass. Now it's 7-7. It's the Bulldogs who are in Tiger territory at the 42 as we start quarter number 2. Moody back. He throws the slant. It's going to be picked off at the 29-yard line. And he's got some running room. From behind is Ferris to make the tackle at the 22-yard line, but Ben Wanders makes the interception at the 29 of Bentonville, and he returns it 48 yards to the Springdale 23, and only Ferris really had a chance. He kept weaving in and out of traffic. And this game turns on a turnover now as Bentonville has first down at the Springdale 23. Excellent catch by Wanders, and he knew what to do with it.
Oh, he did. I was going to comment, whether it's an offensive running back, a wide out, or safety right there, they know what to do with the ball after they catch it, and they're all using their blockers very well.
Here's Hartman on a pitch sweep to the right. He makes McGinley miss him. He makes another man miss him. He goes down at the 9-yard line. This Hartman's a good-looking back. He and Christians both have been very effective all year, and Hartman takes it inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, a 14-yard gain, and it's first down for Bentonville at the Springdale 9.
Boy, he gave just a little bit of a head fake then on McGinley, just froze him, got him a step or two outside, and then he just shot up past him. That was great acceleration there. Give the devil his due. He ran well.
He ran very, very well. And Bentonville has first down at the 9. Inside handoff gets about 2 yards, and that's the fullback, Lucas Clark. He's another senior. Bentonville has 31 seniors, 15 returning starters, and even though they only won 3 games last year, all summer you could tell these guys had it together, good chemistry. Then all of a sudden they had a head coaching change, but it did not affect the camaraderie of the players, and Bentonville is having a sensational year. Now they have second and goal at the Springdale 8 with the game tied at 7. Schlagenhoff turns, he's going to throw it, it's going to be incomplete. That ball was tossed to Aswell. He got his hands on the ball, but with his hands on Aswell was Bobby Smith, and he shoved him down, and the ball was not held. Incomplete.
Well, Bobby Smith made a good play on that. He broke on the ball pretty well and hit the receiver just about the time the ball got there. Kind of got Aswell's concentration off just a little bit. Ball was laid just a little bit in front of him. All in all, that was a real close play. Could have gone either way.
That's a tough play to stop, but Springdale was fortunate there. It's third down and 8. Third and 8 from the Springdale 8. Schlagenhoff drops back, wants to throw in a hurry, throws to his back, and it's going to be a touchdown. He threw to his back coming out of the backfield. That's Weston Geigel, and Weston Geigel makes the catch and pounds his way into the end zone for a touchdown. 10:40 to go in the second quarter, and Bentonville has used the interception to take a 14-7 lead. Geigel's normally a receiver, but he was lined up in the slot back there. He makes the 8-yard catch. Here's the kick. My gosh, that could have been a 50-yard field goal.
Uh-oh, we got another
Kick
flag.
that ball out of sight. I'm not sure they'll find it. There's a flag on the play. The kick was certainly good. Not only did it have the distance, it was between the uprights. And we'll wait and see what the officials have to say. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the extra point. It'll be assessed on the kickoff. 10:40 to go, second quarter. Bentonville 14 and Springdale 7. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Springdale on the extra point, and that means Bentonville's kicking from the 45-yard line, and Springdale's got 10 men up close thinking Bentonville may onside kick. No, he kicks it. It's high, it's deep, it's wide right, but it does mean it's a touchback. He didn't kick it through the uprights. This guy's a good kicker, no doubt about it. Bentonville's got the whole package, kicking game, offense, defense. But Springdale's right in there. There's 10:40 to go in the second quarter, and it's a 14-7 game as Springdale starts from its own 20.
You know, Rick, before the game started, Coach Ware of Bentonville said this is one of the first times he's had a good group of kids that stayed together for 5 or 6 years through junior high and high school. And you think about Bentonville, you got some big organizations up there, folks turn over, and just having that camaraderie and that cohesiveness is
Moody
paid
runs
off.
the draw. He's got plenty of room to run. He makes about 8 yards before he's finally stopped. That's a good point. The Bentonville community, Walmart is basically the economic drive in the Bentonville community, and they have people that move in and out, and it's tough to keep a group together. Gary Ware was the defensive coordinator there for 10 years, and when Gary Orr left to go to Rogers in administration, Ware was elevated, and he hadn't lost a game. He's undefeated.
Well, that speaks volumes for your coach, too, where the kids come in, and, I mean, they don't miss a beat. They just take up with the new coach, and here they go. Good run by Young there.
There goes Mark Young. He picks up a first down. He got 4 yards, and it's first down at the 32-yard line as Springdale picks up a first down with 2 running plays. It's first down at the Springdale 32-yard line. Venable is in the game at fullback. Got Young behind him. He's going to be a blocking back there. Young doesn't get much. He picks up a yard perhaps. And it's going to be second down and 9 for Springdale at the 32-yard line. 9:40 to go, second quarter. Tigers lead by 7.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick, you go down this lineup for Bentonville. I mean, they just got size all the way through it.
Size and experience. That's why they're so good. Here comes the rush. It's a screen sent out to Ferris. He makes a catch at the 35. He breaks a tackle. He's outside the 40. He's over the 42. He's got a first down for Springdale. He was grabbed from behind at the 39-yard line. Escaped that tackle to pick up a first down.
I'll tell you what, I didn't get the number of that Bentonville Tiger that got him in the backfield, but if he had slowed him down, Ben would have gotten he would have gone farther than he got. And Bentonville has a injured defensive back, number 80. That's Christian Boyd. I think he was in on that tackle and may have gotten the worst of it.
It's a 10-yard gain, goes from Moody to Ferris. And they're going to wait until Christian Boyd is able to get off the field. Still on the sideline there. Clock stopped for some reason. Ferris talking to the official. Now we're set to go. 9:11 to go before halftime. Moody went to the sidelines, talked it over with Gus Malzahn. 14-7 Bentonville. Springdale at its own 43. First down after that nice screen pass to Ferris. Moody's trying to get Young aligned in the right spot. Play clock still at 6. Now Young takes the handoff, bullies his way over the left side, but not for much. That Bentonville defense tough to run against.
That was pretty critical realignment there by Moody.
Young he picks up 2 tough yards. They're going much tougher for him tonight than it was at Russellville last week. Russellville, of course, was very geared to stop the pass, and Young and Mounts between them made 140 yards. Here's Mounts in motion. Moody's going to run the option. He's going to keep, and he dives forward to the 48-yard line. He thought he saw an opening. He was waiting for Bentonville to commit, Nobody ever did one way or the other. He had to go ahead and tuck it and run, and Moody gets to the 48-yard line, a pickup of 3. That brings up 3rd down and 5 for Springdale at the 48-yard line. They use that formation, tried to get Bentonville to jump off sides. This veteran Tiger defense wouldn't buy it. Let's see what Moody's going to come up with on 3rd and 5. He wants to throw it quickly to McGinley. It's a first down. He dives forward to the 45-yard line. I was going to say it's a first down. Then he moved behind the first down marker and then dove back forward to the 46-yard line. So it's a first down. Moody to McGinley. That's a 6-yard gain. And again, a very tough play to stop.
Rick Daniel McGinley has some of the best hands on the Springdale team. He plays both ways, so you can't just wear him out completely on either side. He's a very good receiver.
Moody looking for somebody to throw to. Breaks stride, breaks the line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up good yardage down to the 39-yard line, perhaps the 38. Moody was looking to throw the ball. Cooper was well covered. He tucked it and ran and picked up 8 yards, did Moody. And it's 2nd down and a long 2.
And you can see, Rick, I mean, we're halfway, I guess over halfway through this season. Moody is really beginning to feel more comfortable. He just felt that it wasn't going to go well then, and he turned it up and ran. Go Cooper.
He moves away from one man and squirms his way forward to the 27-yard line before he's tackled by James Ferguson. He's so dangerous. He's like the Bentonville receiver as well. If the first guy misses him, you got trouble. That time he picks up 11.
Tell you what, Rick, if Bentonville starts rolling the dice a little bit, and they roll that defensive back, number 22, who's at Ferguson, if they roll him up on Cooper, you look for Gus to fake that little quick route and throw it to Cooper streaking down the sidelines.
Well, he's giving him quite a cushion right now. Moody's going to throw it quickly to Cooper again. He goes down the sidelines, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And that's a nice 7-yard gain on first down. You take 7 yards on first down every time. As the ball, excuse me, is at the 20, not the you're right, because the 15 would have been 12 yards. Bentonville's going to call a timeout, a 7-yard pickup. The ball's at the Bentonville 20, timeout on the field. 5:39 to go in the second quarter. Bentonville 14, Springdale 7. It's 2nd down and 3 for Springdale at the 20-yard line of Bentonville. Mounts is in the backfield with Moody. Bentonville uses its first timeout. Mounts is rolling out to the left. The pursuit is out there, but good block by McGinley allows Mounts to get near a first down. When he caught that ball, it looked like Bentonville had a pursuit angle. McGinley took 3 defenders out. What a play by McGinley. First he gets to kiss the homecoming queen, and then he makes a heck of a block.
Well, he mugged those 3 Bentonville defenders just about like he mugged the queen before we started. But anyway, he took all 3 of them down. It was a great block and allowed Mounts to get that first down.
It's at the 17-yard line. It's a first down for Springdale. Moody was going to hand off to Young, and Young thought it was an option play. Young started to his left. Moody turned to hand off. There wasn't anybody there, so Moody takes a 2-yard loss on the play.
He's tackled by Cody Crumpler. And Moody crumpled under that tackle. That's a punt, I guess. But, no, he didn't have any place to go. That was a good play by Bentonville.
Balls at the Bentonville 19-yard line. This drive started at the Springdale 20. It's been magnificent so far. Moody to Cooper. He makes a catch. Good slant. Away from one man. Spins forward. Down to the 6-yard line. And Cooper is having the game of his career so far as he makes that catch and dances to the 5.
You know, you talk about popular players on a team, and Coop is a very popular player, popular young man here at Springdale High School. You could tell he caught that right in front of the Springdale students down there. I mean, they really let him know they appreciated what he did.
He took it to the 5. It's 1st and goal from there. Young is behind. Moody dropped the ball, and who's going to come up with it? It's either Young for the Bulldogs or it's a Tiger with the ball. Young was in the right place that time to dive on it because Moody couldn't come up with it. Moody fumbled the snap. He was going to start to his right, but he started too soon. It's a loss of 4. The ball goes back to the 9-yard line.
Well, that's okay. That just gives us a little bit more area to work with. Maybe Gus felt or Moody felt a little cramp starting from the 6, starting from the field, will give you more land out there.
Cooper's not in the lineup right now. 2 wide right, 2 wide left. Moody throws it quickly, and it's almost picked off. He threw it quickly. McGinley, the ball was thrown behind McGinley. And Besor dove with the ball. He had a better angle at it than anybody. It's incomplete. It's third down and goal from the 9.
About the time the ball's released, McGinley is obviously between two defenders, and the ball looks like it's being thrown to the Bentonville guy. We dodged the bullet there, Rick.
It's third down and goal from the 9-yard line. Moody goes back. He's got time. He throws in the corner, McGinley, and the ball's intercepted. It's intercepted by Bentonville. They had him double covered, and Bentonville intercepts the ball. That's Tyler Morgan. He's been active all night on defense. Double covered. The ball needed to get a little more loft on it that time, where either McGinley could catch it or nobody could. But Morgan makes the outstanding interception, and Springdale is rebuffed. Bentonville will start at the 20-yard line.
Tell you what, Rick, that whole play was an excellent play. It developed well and moved through the ball well. We just didn't have the results we needed. But we'll be back.
Bentonville takes over at the 20-yard line. There's Hartman. He escapes one man, but not the other. McGinley, who was just the receiver on that last play, makes the tackle on this one. It's a pickup of 1. That Springdale drive was absolutely magnificent from the 20-yard line.
Well, you're starting to see some great things out of this Bulldog offense. I mean, they did score right there, but everything clicked except for one little thing right there in the end zone. You say it's not a little thing, but I'll tell you what, folks, we'll be back, and what we saw right there will give this offense confidence.
Second down and 9. It was a 16-play drive. They're going to run deep, and Schlagenoff has time, and he does, and he's got running room. Schlagenoff does. He's going to get a first down before Venable takes him down with help from J.R. Bynum. At the 33-yard line, Schlagenoff had some running room. He had a man going deep down the Springdale sideline, but he was well covered by Bobby Smith, and so Schlagenoff tucked it and ran for 12.
Well, Aswell ran a post corner. He came in, and Schlagenoff raised the ball up like a little pump fake. Aswell ran towards the corner, but Smith stayed right with him, and he was covered very well.
3:50 to go, second quarter. Bentonville leading 14-7. Schlagenoff hands the ball off to Christians. He sneaks up over the 35-yard line. He gets to the 37.
Rick Winbury's doing a good job, even right then. We had a little outside stunt there with our linebacker going out with a little linebacker blitz over the top of the screen between the guard and tackle, it looks like. And they ran on this side. I tell you, we're getting down their tendencies pretty well. I think this defense is going to have a great rest of the ball game.
Marsh is back out there for Springdale, a defensive end, Schlagenoff the quarterback. He's got a single back. He's dropping back. He wants to throw. Nobody to throw to. Now the pressure gets to him, but he makes Marsh missing. Here comes the tackler up. He throws it low. He throws it low as pressure came from Justin Smith, and Smith made the decision that he was just going to come blowing up from out of nowhere. And it's incomplete.
Well, again,
Justin Smith, I'm sorry, it wasn't him.
We're rushing 4 players there, Rick, and we're doing a great job. We talked in the first of the game, and you can see it looking at the screen. This Bentonville line is huge, and our defense continues to put pressure on the Bentonville offense. Part of that, again, is because of the secondary and the linebackers. I'll tell you what, the defense is coming.
Well, let's see if the defense can make one more play on third down and 7 from the 36-yard line. Schlagenoff is back. He's got some time. He throws it out, and the flat is dropped and almost picked by McGinley. That's the same man, Weston Geigel, who caught the touchdown pass earlier. He was close to a first down when he dropped it. Might have made it with another stride or two, but we'll never know. It's incomplete, and Bentonville will have to give it up with 2:54 to go in quarter number 2. Bentonville will punt it away from the 36-yard line. Johnson and Heath Nelson are back there for Springdale, back deep. They like to run that little handoff. It's going to be another short punt, and it goes out of bounds. And the Bulldogs are very fortunate that Chris Fancher, who was running with one of the receivers, didn't get hit in the back by that punt, and it goes out of bounds at the 40. So the Bulldogs, favorable field position as they start from the 40-yard line. And they've still got plenty of time left, 2:50. 2:50 to go in the first half. Bulldogs trail the team that's ranked in one poll, number 1, and the other poll, number 2 in 5A. Jones, the quarterback. The ball's at the 40. He's back to throw. Here comes pressure. Here's Cooper going deep. They're going to fight for the football. They jockeyed for position, and the ball was overthrown. Nobody could catch it. Back there covering was James Ferguson. This is a good secondary that Bentonville has. Springdale tried to test them deep, and it's second down and 10. Springdale's last 2 possessions have ended with interceptions after the Bulldogs scored a touchdown on possession number 1 with a 79-yard pass from Moody to Ferris.
Well, this game's moved along a lot quicker than normal.
Second down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Leahy in motion. The snap goes to Moody. It's a high snap. Here comes the pressure. Pass to Cooper. Eludes a man. He's up over the 40, and he's smacked back at the 43. That ran that little slip screen to Cooper. He slipped inside the defense, and then Steve Jones slipped him to the ground after a pickup of 3.
Well, Moody made a good job of just putting his hand up real quick, stopping the ball. Messed up the timing a little bit, but he threw a strike to Cooper. Cooper made one guy miss him. And then I tell you what, 38, Steve Jones just put a crushing tackle on Cooper.
He has protection. The pass to Ferris. He makes the catch. He dances away from a tackler, and he's going to score a touchdown. It's a touchdown from Moody to Ferris on a sensational catch and run. It's a 57-yard play. The defender went up with Ferris. Ferris made the catch and somehow spun away from the defender and ran the other 30 yards for a touchdown. And Springdale is within an extra point of tying the game.
What a ball game. I'll tell you what, Rick, I just don't know what to say. That was a great throw and catch. Ferris had great concentration holding on to the ball. Took it the rest of the way in. Oh,
Anderson's kick was low, but good. Timeout on the field. 2:03 to go before halftime. It's Springdale 14 and Bentonville 14. 14-14, and here's Skelton. Now Anderson's going to kick it high toward the sidelines, and Bentonville's going to fair catch it at the 33-yard line. At the 33-yard line, it's a fair catch by their good receiver, Shayla Aswell. And Bentonville still has 2 minutes and 2 seconds of clock time, and they start at their 33-yard line.
Well, this has been quite a first half of high school football. We've seen 3 really, really nice drives by these two teams. We've seen some good defense on both sides.
Bentonville was slinging off at quarterback. They scored 2 touchdowns. They punted twice. They had the ball at their own 33, and they draw Springdale offsides. They changed the snap count and drew Springdale offside. Springdale has ways of drawing other teams offside, and that time it worked for Bentonville. It'll be first down and 5 for Bentonville. Again, Bentonville ranked in one poll, the Hooten poll, number 1, the AP poll, number 2. They're very good. They're 5-0 in the 5A West. Springdale's 4-2. Bulldogs could use a victory tonight. There's Hartman spinning off to the right side, and he can't get away from J.R. Bynum. And down he goes at the 40-yard line after a gain of only 2. So that's Hartman picking up 2 yards. And it's second down and 8 at the Bentonville 40-yard line. Clock ticking, 1:42 to go before halftime. Actually, it's second down and 3 because they had the benefit of the penalty. Now Schlagenoff in the shotgun. He drops back, wants to throw it fast, nobody there. He's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked by Marsh. 3-yard loss. Schlagenoff came out running, actually loses 2. He loses 2. Marsh gets the sack. And it'll be third down and 5 for Bentonville at the 38-yard line. So Marsh only operating at about 60% efficiency, but he's so often in the right place at the right time. He made that tackle. It's third and 5. Schlagenoff back, looking downfield. Once again, he's got a little bit of opening. Now Springdale puts some pressure on him, and down he goes, and he throws it late, and it's caught. No, it's not. A short hop. A short hop, and Geigel thought he caught it. The Bentonville coaches thought he caught it. Can you believe it? What a throw by Schlagenoff. He was about to go down. He was being slung to the ground by Tyler Parks. Somehow he flipped it out there, And frankly, it looked like he caught the ball.
Well, it looked good from here, Rick. We're a long way from that, from where that official is. In the pros, they would have said that quarterback was down in the grass. Pretty athletic play by Schlagenhoff.
The pros probably would ask for the replay. They won't get one here. Geigel thought he came up with it. It would have been a first down. What a play by Schlagenhoff to get it anywhere near somebody. Here's the punt. It's the best of the night. It's a low-line drive, and Johnson has to dive forward just to catch the ball at the 30-yard line. So it's a 32-yard punt. Springdale will take over, 41 seconds to go. The Bulldogs have all three of their timeouts. Is that long enough? 41 seconds for this Bulldog team?
Well, it is, but you know that Bentonville is going to be protected against the long throw. They'll be looking for the reverses. Springdale's throwing reverses, a reverse pass. We talked about so far tonight, they've had Cooper and Ferris, and again, they're on the same side of the field. Looks like they're both clearing out for the other one. We'll just see what happens.
Well, Ferguson's playing a little bit tighter on the line this time. Now he drops back, and there's a little toss to Leahy, who makes a catch for 3 yards and slides down, and Springdale now has the clock moving, 30 seconds to go, and Gus Malzahn's going to ask for a timeout. 30 seconds to go before halftime, 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs. It's Springdale 14 and Bentonville 14. Well, once again, you go back to that third down play. We were all thinking that Schlagenhoff was going to get called for intentional grounding. Somehow he saw a receiver open. They said it was incomplete. Springdale now has the ball. 30 seconds to go. Moody takes the snap. He gives it to Leahy on a little delayed draw. He's up over the 40. He's got a first down. That'll stop the clock. Springdale has 2 timeouts left, so they have the option to get rid of it quickly or run a play very quickly. But nonetheless, Leahy picks up 8 yards. It's a first down. There's 24 seconds to go. The ball's at the 41. Springdale set to snap it quickly. This is Moody. A high snap. He runs the draw. He's going to be up over to the 50-yard line. The Bulldogs need a timeout, and they get one. There's only 13 seconds to go as Moody picks up 8 yards. 13 seconds to go in the game, or in the half, excuse me, and an 8-yard gain for Moody.
Well, Rick, we've got a little wind out of the south here tonight, but I'll tell you, if Springdale can get the ball to the 30-yard line, don't be surprised if we don't see them try for a field goal if they don't go for the touchdown. We've got some guys that can kick a 45-yarder. Again, it's into the wind, but, Gus Malzahn has a lot of confidence in his team, and he instills confidence in those players also.
Leahy and Anderson are both good kickers. Leahy kicked 143 yards early in the season. It's 14-14 with 13 seconds to go. This game has lived up to its billing. Oddly, Robert, I think because Springdale has won 9 of the last 10 games of this series, even though Bentonville is ranked high. When you read the newspapers, all these guys that pick high school games pick Springdale to win, and yet Bentonville has had a terrific season.
Well, they have, and you look at them, they're obviously well drilled, they're in shape, they play well together.
It's 2nd and 1. Moody throws it over the middle of Ferris. He had him wide open and overthrew it. Had him wide open in a seam, and that's just what Robert was talking about. He'd have caught it at the 30. He might have run another 4 or 5 yards, and then you call timeout and try a field goal. Instead, it's incomplete. Springdale probably has just 2 plays left before halftime. It's 3rd down and 2. Leahy back to block. Moody's looking. He's throwing deep for Ferris. And Ferris almost caught the ball. He couldn't come down with it. Ferris went up, looked like he was going to get it. Wanders kind of had his hand on the ball, and that's the only reason Ferris, who's had a sensational first half, couldn't come down with it at the 10-yard line.
Ben went up, he got that ball as he's literally falling backwards. Wanders ripped the ball out of his gut, and Ben had just not quite taken enough steps or hadn't hit the ground. They called it incomplete. That was a great play by the defensive back of Ben.
Give Wanders credit. He made an interception earlier tonight, and he made a terrific play there. Last play of the half, 4th down. Springdale will throw it, and here's Moody just throwing as far as he can for Cooper, and it's going to be incomplete. Double covered back there by Wanders again, as well as James Ferguson. The pass ball is incomplete. That's the end of the first half, and what a first half it's been. From Gerald Williams Bulldog Stadium, it's Springdale 14 and Bentonville 14. Back with quarter number 3 right after this. We're set for the second half kickoff. We're tied at 14 in the first half. David Moody was 14 out of 23 for 224 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions. He was 14 out of 20. He was firing away deep on that last possession, trying to get Springdale some scoring position. Didn't make it. Ferris was his leading receiver, 3 for 146 yards. Cooper caught 5 for 55. Schlegenoff 7 out of 14 for 86 yards for Bentonville. Hartman rushed for 66 yards. Here's the kickoff. It's sailing deep. McGinley's going to catch it in the end zone, and you can't run it out even though he wanted to. Hartman rushed for 66 yards. Bentonville overall had 105 yards rushing in the first half. So, pretty good job by Springdale defensively when you consider how big that Bentonville offensive line is. And when you consider that last week against Northside, ranked number 1 at the time, or number 2 by many polls, against Northside, they just pounded it and had 2 backs rush for well over 100. Springdale starts the second half at its own 20-yard line. Moody back there with Young. He hands the ball off. Good running room for Young. He breaks a tackle, dives forward, picks up 8 yards. He turned a 4-yard gain into an 8-yard gain with good, hard, straight-ahead running.
You know, that's the same kind of run we've seen Mark do all year long. He runs hard, and sometimes it seems like he's fixing to go down, but somehow he keeps his balance and gets a few more yards. And, you know, Springdale the last few weeks have opened up with a real good opening drive the third quarter on the ground.
Second down and 2 for Springdale. Venable gets the call, his first carry of the year, and he picks up a first down. And for a defensive player, he shot through there quickly, didn't he, Robert?
Tell you, for a guy with a hurt back, he shot through quickly, made some good yardage, and it's like we said earlier, there's not an ounce of quit in any of these Springdale Bulldogs. Here again, they opened the third quarter on the ground. 2 good running plays, first down. Let's see what Gus calls here.
Both plays netted 8 yards. It's first down from the 36-yard line. Moody gives it to Young. Not much running room. In fact, he had to dive just to pick up no gain that time. An excellent tackle by Neil Churchill. He submarined underneath the Springdale offensive line and made a terrific tackle. Second and 10. The breeze that is blowing is at Bentonville's back. There's a quick toss to Cooper. Ferris out there to block for him. He couldn't avoid the tackler. Ferguson, a very sure tackler, makes that stop. Ferguson's another senior. Boy, you see senior on a lot of these players at Bentonville. And that play gains 5 yards and had potential for more had Cooper not been stopped by Ferguson. It's 3rd and 5.
Rick, they're giving Cooper about 7-8 yards every play of cushion.
Here's Leahy retreating. There's a quick toss to him. Let's see if he can get a block. He does. He's got a first down. He's into the secondary. A flag is down. The play's going to come back. We're going to have some kind of illegal blocker hold, I can tell you. But Leahy used his blocking well, ran all the way down to the 32-yard line. But I would guess this play is going to come back.
Well, that was awful close, Rick. McGinley, I believe it was McGinley, was out there. They're going to call him block below the waist. Well, again, those guys are right there looking at it. That was real close to being a great game for Springdale, and one of those judgment calls that unfortunately goes against the Bulldogs and is going to turn a big gainer into a terrible loss.
It would have been a 27-yard gain to the Bentonville 32. Instead, the penalty will be stepped off from the 42-yard line. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty. That's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be 3rd down and a long way to go for Springdale. 3rd down from the 27. They've got to make it to the 46, so it's 3rd down and 19.
I'm not sure, but that may have been a little bit of an emotional call from the Bentonville Beats, too. Boy, they all exploded. Like I say, it was close, and had Rick had that play been turned around, the Springdale coaches would have been doing the same thing. So, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Unfortunately, this time it's going to be bringing up, what, instead of 3rd 20, 3rd 19?
3rd down and 19. Leahy's back there to block for Moody. And now a flag is down. A flag is down before the ball is snapped. And Bentonville is offsides. In high school football, if you go into the neutral zone, it doesn't matter. As long as the offensive line is there, it's offsides. And so Bentonville did that. It's 3rd down and 14 now. Moody retreats. Here comes pressure. Ferris over the middle. Makes the catch. It's a 1st down at the 50. Ben Ferris's 4th catch of the night. His 4th catch of the night. 18 yards on that one. He's now earned 164 receiving yards on 4 catches.
Tell you what, Rick, when you're a receiver and you're out there, you're going to get hit whether you catch the ball or not. It looks like these Springdale Bulldogs and I have decided we're going to catch the ball, we're going to take a licking, and if you want to get us down, you better keep coming.
Fake to the running back, Moody back to throw. He fires short of Ferris. It's incomplete. Pressure came just as Moody was throwing. That's Brady Carmen, an outstanding leader on this Bentonville team. Talk a little bit about Fellowship of Christian Athletes at times on the telecast. Brady Carmen went to the FCA football camp in Norman, came back really inspired, and has been the FCA leader of this Bentonville football team. 2nd down and 10. He made a good play that time. Moody drops back. He's going to run the draw play. He can't escape the grasp, though, of Neil Churchill. He made a good tackle on him to go on Young, and he stops Moody this time. And it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Tell you, Neil Churchill is a big player. He's 5'11", 230 pounds, and he just stood up the offensive man on the other side of the line. Red Moody was coming forward, just reached out and grabbed him for no gain.
It's 3rd down and 10 for Springdale. Very tight coverage on one side for McGinley.
Bentonville
They're playing down, they back off. It's 3rd down and 10. There's Ferris over the middle. The pass is there, and he somehow made the catch while Ben Wanders was smacking him at the same time. The ball, Ferris, and Wanders all got there at the same time, and Ferris somehow held on for a 16-yard pickup and a 1st down.
That was a great catch. The defender arrived at Ben the same time the ball did. You know, Ben just made a real good throw and catch. And again, I think our receivers are watching the ball in a lot better tonight. They're going to catch it whether they get smacked or not.
Here's Young to the right side. He uses good blocking to pick up a good gain inside the 30-yard line. He's going to be down at the 28. That's a 6-yard pickup. Well, Wanders is some kind of defensive back. We've seen him break on the ball. He broke on the ball as perfectly as you can, and Ferris still held on.
Great play.
6 yards on that carry by Young, and it's 2nd down and 4 at the Bentonville 28. Game tied, early 3rd quarter. Here's Young again. Good blocking right side, but quickly filling any hole there was is Michael Sapino to make the tackle for Bentonville, and that play is going to end up gaining nothing. It's 3rd down and 4.
I'll tell you what, Rick, that Bentonville defense flies to the ball. There was a hole there for a moment, and as soon as Young started to hit it, Sapino was in it and closed it.
3rd down and 4. 2 wide right, 2 wide left. There goes Leahy off into the flank. They're going to throw it to him. He's got Young blocking. He's not going to pick up a 1st down. The play's only going to gain a yard. It's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down and a short 3 for Springdale. Moody flipped that ball to Leahy. Actually, they picked up 2 on the play. So it's 4th and 2, and you can bet Springdale's going to go for this one.
Boy, this is an interesting call. Opening drive here for Springdale. They're trying to get something going, score tie. Big play for both teams.
It's 4th and 2. Springdale stopped Bentonville on 4th down at the same spot. Let's see if the Bulldogs can make a 1st down. Quick toss, Ferris. Incomplete. He was double covered. The pass was behind him. And Bentonville stops the Springdale drive that took over 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 3 seconds. That's a long drive for Springdale coming from its 20. Earlier we saw Springdale go 16 plays. This time, that was 13 plays for Springdale. No points, though. And Bentonville takes over with 5:57 to go. Maybe at 6:57 to go, 3rd quarter. Schlagenhoff goes back. He's flushed out of the pocket. Now he's got some running room. He's going to pick up a fumble. And I think Springdale's got the ball. Schlagenhoff fumbled, and Springdale comes up with a football. That is J.R. Bynum. J.R. Bynum up with the ball for Springdale, and they take over at the Bentonville 32-yard line. Schlegenoff had some running room.
He had some running room, and it almost looked like he tried to do too much with that, Rick. You know, when a guy that's not used to running the ball, and I'm not saying a quarterback isn't used to running it, but not like a running back or a receiver, when you get into, a lot of guys around you, tuck that ball away, get down, and live to fight another day. That time Springdale swarmed on the ball, stripped it, and we've got new life at the 33.
Young slides to the left side. He can't get away from that stingy Bentonville defense, though, as Adam Clark makes a shoestring stop on Young. He was just building a burst of steam, and he was stopped for no gain. An excellent tackle that time. That's the first turnover of the game for Bentonville. They're very good about protecting the football. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Quick pass to Cooper. He's got a blocker in front of him. Bentonville reacts well. Cooper breaks 2 tackles and somehow gets to the 24 on a play that should have gone for nothing.
Tell you what, Rick, I mean, you just see the quickness and agility of Cooper right there, and then you just got to feel a movement, a change here with some momentum. I mean, Springdale is just steadily taking it to these Bentonville Tigers, and like you said earlier, even though Springdale may be bigger and stronger and maybe even better this year, these Springdale Bulldogs have tradition and a little heart of desire on their side. And I think we got a good chance for the rest of this.
Springdale's won 9 of the last 10. Let's see if Moody runs a draw play. No, he's going to throw, and he's going to be sacked. What a play by Michael Supino, whose name we have called frequently. He came from the left side, the defensive left side, and dropped Moody for a big loss back at the 33-yard line. That's a loss of 9, and now Springdale will face 4th down and 11, but this deep in Bentonville territory is likely to go for it.
Rick, that's the 3rd time tonight that Moody has been sacked with someone coming from his left side that he just did not see.
4th and 10. Moody back. He throws it for Cooper, and it's overthrown. He just had a brief window to get that ball to Cooper before he'd get to the sidelines. Incomplete, and Springdale fails to take advantage of the fumble. Bentonville dodges a big bullet and takes over at its own 33-yard line with 5:05 to go in the 3rd quarter in a 14-14 tie. Schlegenoff, the senior, doesn't make many mistakes. He hasn't thrown any interceptions. He did fumble the last time. He gives it to Hartman. He bursts through a hole and then jumps over a tackler before Donat brings him down at about the 37-yard line, giving the 38, so that's a pickup of 5 for Hartman. Hartman had 66 yards in the first half. That puts him over the 70 mark. Last week, he rushed for 140 against Northside. It's 2nd down and 5 at the 38-yard line. Hartman behind Schlegenoff. Springdale has dominated possession in this quarter, but hadn't scored. Hartman wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. A swarm of Bulldogs. Excellent tackling. Bynum was right in there. McGinley helped out, but Bynum stuffed the blocker back into the running back.
Well, that was a great play by this, the bottom half of this right side defense here. McGinley's up, takes on a blocker. Bynum took on the blocker. They just really gave the running back no place to go, and then McGinley jumped over the blocker, grabbed hold of who was that? Hartman.
Now Christensen's the running back. Now Christensen's the running back. It's 3rd and 5. Back goes Schlegenoff. Here comes pressure. Here's a deep pass, and it's going to be complete. They threw it. McGinley had the play well covered. It was absolutely perfectly thrown for Weston Geigel. He had a step, and it looked like McGinley was in good position. You can't throw the ball any better than Schlegenoff did that time. And it goes to the Springdale 35-yard line. A pickup of 27 yards on 3rd and 5.
A great throw and catch, and Geigel just ran kind of a little out and up route, nothing fancy, just up there, and quarterback put it right in his hands.
Here's Christensen, and he's wrapped up very quickly by James Sawney of the Springdale defensive line. Christensen's in the ball game. He scored the touchdown, but hasn't rushed for nearly as many yards as Hartman has. He only picked up a couple on that one. It was 2nd down and 8.
Rick, you hear about the complexity of the West Coast offenses, as they're called, what have you. I tell you, it doesn't have to be real technical or difficult. All you have to do is get a guy to get a step and have a quarterback put the ball where he needs to, and you can have a big gain in a heart.
Schlegenhoff throws it out to his good receiver as well. He spins away from one tackler but can't get away from both. He's very close to a first down. I think he's got one. Yes, he does.
A healthy spot.
Yes, he does. Haswell made the catch. Gets inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, and Bentonville now threatening at the Springdale 24. 9 yards on that pass play. Second first down of this drive for Bentonville. Hartman's back into the backfield. Schlegenhoff with a long snap count. Hartman, some running room over the right side, gets inside the 20. He's down to about the 18-yard line, and that's a pickup of 6 on first down.
Tell you, Rick, Hartman gets in behind that offensive line of Bentonville, behind Perkins and Winter, those guys. And I'm not sure what our guys don't lose sight of him. Those guys are so big on that offensive line, but he's making 4 or 5 yards at a pop. And I tell you, 2nd 3 is a great place for an offensive coordinator to call the ball from.
Particularly with a line like this, you can do a lot of things. Protect the quarterback or hand off. They hand off to the fullback. He breaks containment. He's into the secondary. He's all the way to the 5-yard line. It's Lucas Clark. They handed it to the short man. He carried it all the way to the 5-yard line. 13 yards for Clark on the play. It's a first down for Bentonville at the 5-yard line of Springdale. First and goal from the 5. Bentonville has scored twice. They threw an 8-yard slant for one touchdown and a 1-yard run for the other. Here's the ball to Christians. He cuts back inside the 5. He's down close to the 2-yard line before he is dropped. So it's a gain of 3 down to the 2-yard line.
Tell you, Rick, Springdale's making them earn every yard, but that offensive line, I know we've said it quite a bit tonight, but they are open to some really good holes. Our defense is doing everything they can. They're playing gaps, they're stunting a little bit, and they're trying to stop the Bentonville team, but they have put together 2 pretty impressive drives tonight, this one being the second.
Schlegenhoff is going to sneak, and he gets close, but he's not in. He tried to stretch the ball over, but that didn't work. We're down to the last minute of the third quarter. This period has flown by. Springdale dominated possession time until this drive by Bentonville that has now reached the Springdale 1-yard line. It's third and goal from the 1. Let's see if the Bulldogs can keep this Tiger offense out of the end zone. Hartman is the deep back. He's got a bruising running back ahead of him, blocking back. Hartman gets the call. Right side, he's in. That's a touchdown for Bentonville. 32 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the Tigers have regained the lead on the touchdown by Hartman.
Just a little straight-ahead power play over the right side there. And again, Bentonville with that power offense trying to move the defensive line back, and Hartman got him behind him. A little hop into the end zone. Didn't get much more complicated than that.
Brian Barber will kick the extra point. Perhaps Venable got in there. Well, once he gets it airborne, that ball goes a long way. There may be 2 lost balls in the neighborhood tonight. Good kick. Timeout. 32 seconds to go. Third quarter. Bentonville 21, Springdale 14. We're only 32 seconds from the end of the third quarter, and Bentonville is kicking off. That was the second possession for Bentonville in the third quarter. The first one only lasted a play. That one went 10 plays, 67 yards. And here's the kickoff. This is going to go way back out of the end zone. Ferris gets his hands on it, but nothing more. And Springdale will take over at its own 20-yard line. Springdale marched from its 20 to the Bentonville 26 on its first possession and failed on 4th and 2. Got the ball right back on a fumble at the 32, 4 and out, and then Bentonville is driven for the touchdown. So Springdale starts from the 20. Again, the slight breeze that does exist is in Springdale's face for 32 more seconds.
We've got McGinley at the top, and again, Cooper and Ferris down here at the bottom. Inside handoff
to Venable, the fullback, and he just keeps going. He gets 4 yards. He was wrapped up at the 22 and somehow found his way to the 24-yard line. That's a pickup of 4. It'll be second down and 6 for Springdale. And that's going to end the quarter. That's the end of the third quarter. It's Bentonville 21, Springdale 14. Back with the exciting concluding quarter right after this. We've had a thriller so far, and we enter the last 12 minutes of football. 21-14, Bentonville, ranked top in the state, leads Springdale. 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs. Moody fakes, slides to his left, has pressure. He gets a good block, cuts inside over the 30. It's a first down for Moody and the Springdale Bulldogs. He was hit pretty hard, and he gets up slowly, and in fact, he's limping a little bit, and that's not good. He's been healthy all season, but he's going to have to come out of the game. What a time to come out of the game for Moody, and Johnson's going to go in at quarterback, and let's hope Moody will be back before this one's over. He picked up for 8 yards and a first down, but paid the price at the end. He was limping. He hops over that training table. They want to get him fixed up in a hurry. Johnson's the quarterback. The ball's at the 32. He's going to run the draw. He gets one good block. He slides over the 40. He dives up to the 45. What a run by Johnson, and it's a first down.
Hey, we saw this early in the year when Dustin came in. Dustin may not get a whole lot of reps in practice. Or that may be why he doesn't throw the ball a whole lot when he's in there, from at least what we've seen so far. But I tell you, Rick, he can run, and he can run well.
The ball's at the 45-yard line. Dustin Johnson, the quarterback. He's back there by himself. Is he going to run the draw play, or he may hand it off to Cooper, who's coming around the end. They fake to him, and Johnson tries to cut inside. He gets running room over the 50. He's to the 40. He's got a blocker in front of him. He's all the way down to the 26-yard line. Is Johnson a pickup of 29 yards?
Oh, you just got to love these Springdale Bulldogs. I mean, we talk about momentum shifting, and all of a sudden Bentonville gets the ball, and they come down and score, and then our quarterback gets hurt. And next thing you know, we've gone 40 or 50 yards on 2 plays. Here we go again. This is great high school football.
Give him 30 yards to the 25-yard line. He faked the end around to Cooper. He was hit at the line of scrimmage with Johnson, and somehow he spun away, then used his blockers well to complete a 30-yard play. It's first down at the Bentonville 25. Johnson retreats. Draw again. Quarterback draw. He's got running room. He's at the 20. He's almost to the 15. Taken down at the 16-yard line. A pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd down and 1. That time, Robert, is the first time he really gave the appearance as if he was going to throw the football before he took off.
Just brought that ball up a little bit, and you can see the linebacker just freeze. They didn't know whether to drop. They didn't know whether to come. They weren't sure what to do. And, he's run the ball 3 times in a row. Has to be a little bit tired, but you won't ever know it because Justin will not let up.
He, of course, plays defense and has the entire game. It's 2nd down and 1 for Springdale. Johnson, the quarterback, is a DeYoung. He drives forward, trying to make a first down. Bentonville made it very hard for him, and I'm not sure he made it. It depends on the spot. He needed to get within a foot of the 15-yard line, and he may have. I think we're going to have a measurement.
Well, and this gives us another time, as we have all year, to comment on the Springdale Bulldog professional chain gang that we have coming in. Again, some of these guys have operated these chains, Rick, for 35, 40 years, and they really take pride in what they're doing. You've got Gary George and Danny Dotson and Gary Eck and some of these guys. I mean, they do a wonderful job for the Bulldogs.
Well, they didn't do wonderful enough for the Bulldogs that time. It's not a first down. It'll be no gain for Young, just short. He's about 8 inches short, and that's what the Bulldogs will need on 3rd down. Third down for Springdale. The ball is just inside the 16. It needs to go about 3 inches shy of the 15 to be a first down. We would suspect that Dustin Johnson will run a quarterback sneak here. He's got Leahy as a blocking back. Johnson takes the snap, runs forward, first down. He's to the 15 easily.
Yep.
And it's a first down for Springdale at the 15-yard line. So Springdale has marched from its own 20 to the Bentonville 15.
Down there looking on the sidelines, it looks like Moody has a shoe off and he's untaped, and they're still looking at that ankle, Rick, and it doesn't look like we'll see him the rest of the night.
We don't know yet. We'll see what Johnson does here as the quarterback on first down for the 15. Young's the running back, Venable the blocking back. Johnson's going to run. He should have pitched. Instead, he held on and he gets tackled for a yard loss on an excellent stop by Taylor Sizemore. Johnson had Young behind him, and Sizemore took Johnson all the way and made the stop for a 2-yard loss. Now the question is, can Johnson throw the ball effectively?
Well, you can't go to the well too often, Rick. I mean, Bentonville knows that Springdale obviously has reduced their offense substantially with Johnson in there, but they have got to do something other than Johnson right, Johnson left.
They spread it out with the receivers. Johnson's going to run right up the middle. He's down to the 10-yard line. They put Venable in motion, had 2 split right, 2 split left, and Johnson just took off right up the middle and ran it to the 10. He picked up 7 yards, and it's 3rd and 5.
Well, I told you Gus had to do something different. They hadn't seen that one straight up the middle, so he is a thinker. Big down right here, 3rd and 5. Springdale is going to have to get that first down because we cannot rely on the fact that we get down here again for the net. This ball game's over.
5.
We need a touchdown.
And Robert Gus took quite some time with his quarterback Johnson to the point where the play clock's down to 5 seconds. If he audibles, he doesn't have time. It's at 2, and Springdale's going to have to call timeout. The play clock was down to 1 second. Springdale calls timeout. 9 minutes, 13 seconds to go. It's Bentonville 21 and Springdale 14. Damon Moody's got ice on his ankle, so Springdale puts Martinez in the game. He's the quarterback who can throw the ball effectively. It's 3rd down and 5 at the 10-yard line. Martinez, a quarterback, he fumbles the snap. He picks it up. He throws, and it's caught! It's caught! It's caught by McGinley at the 2-yard line. Martinez fumbled the snap, and he was being blasted by Steve Jones as he threw the ball. Is that poised? Is that poised for a sophomore quarterback called into action, and Springdale gets it at the 2. Martinez to McGinley.
I don't know if you want to call that poise, if you want to call that luck, whatever you call it, it's completion and 1st and goal, and way to go, Mr. Martinez. And he didn't take us off the ball. He picked it up and made a good throw. That's
Johnson back at quarterback. The ball's at the 2. He's going to sneak. He's going to get 1 of it. He only got half, but he got close. 7:43 to go. Johnson drove straight ahead. He got to the 1. It'll be 2nd down and goal for Springdale. How about this? They're doing it without Damon Moody. He's got an ice bag on his ankle, so you would suspect that he won't be back tonight. Can Springdale come from behind without its starting quarterback? Moody's been available all year. He was knocked out of 1 game briefly, and Johnson played. And then he came back in the second half. That was Bishop Kelly. Let's see if Johnson runs another sneak. He does, and he's in. He's in for the touchdown. Johnson scores a touchdown. 7:09 to go. It's Bentonville 21, Springdale 20, and kicking to tie the game. That was an 80-yard drive. An 80-yard drive with all but 2 plays engineered by Johnson. Moody carried 8 yards on the second play of the drive and then was knocked out.
Well, and they took it, Springdale took it right up the middle. There's a guy by the name of Jason Grimes, who the program had 6'6", 300.
Anderson's kick is good. Bentonville broke through. Had a chance to put pressure on the kick, but Anderson drives it through. We've got 7:09 to go in regulation. Springdale 21 and Bentonville 21. Well, we know this is a delayed telecast. If you didn't read your newspaper this morning, you're as nervous as everybody in the stadium right now. It's 21 all, 7:09 to go. Springdale just drove 80 yards in 12 plays, and the backup quarterback, Dustin Johnson, did much of the damage. Here's Anderson kicking high towards the sideline, and it's fair caught well, very well, by Charlon Aswell. And Bentonville gets good field position at the 38-yard line with the game tied and 7:09 left. First down in its own 38. Bentonville drove to a touchdown with its last possession. The Tigers have only turned it over once. Springdale has turned it over twice. Now Dustin Johnson gets a breather now, and is not in the game defensively for Springdale. Schlagenhoff gives it to Christians, and he's downed after a gain of 2. Marsh is in there on the tackle. So Sawyer. There's Sonny, excuse me, and so is Tyler Parks. So pick up of 2 for Christians. And it's second down and 8 for Bentonville.
Tell you what, it's interesting watching these defensive players for Springdale, because they are outsized, but you know they have battled all night, and I'm not sure what you're fixing to see. They're starting to win this battle on the offensive line.
Schlagenhoff turns, throws to Aswell. He catches it. He's hit by one man and hit by another.
That's a bad call.
And they call a late hit.
That's a very bad call. I'll tell you what happened, Rick. We had a good stick out on the right cornerback. Then our safety came in and helped take him down. Number 14's coming in from the top. He slid in with his knees. He has his momentum going. Did not bury his shoulder, did not bury a headgear, slid in with his shoulder, and the official standing right there just decided to make the call. That's a poor call.
Call nonetheless. That play went from the 40 to the 43. It was only, I guess, to the 44, only a 4-yard gain, but then a 15-yard penalty. Gives Bentonville a first down at the Springdale 41-yard line, a 1st and 10 at the 41. Bentonville in a tie game. Hartman, almost shoestring, cuts back, makes a nice run to the 35-yard line. Tough to bring down. Picks up 6, does Hartman. And it'll be second down and 4.
Well, Brandon Sessions, number 14, that they called that last penalty on. You know, what a coach will tell you is don't allow official to have that chance to do that. That's just something you've got to, as a player, you've got to be able to quickly gain control of your body and not let that happen. And, you know, right now we had a break for Bentonville. Let's see what Springdale does with it.
And Sessions is in the game because Dustin Johnson's hurt. There's a quick toss to Aswell, and he's taken out of bounds by Bobby Smith at the 30-yard line to pick up a 5 yards. Johnson is normally the safety, but they've got to keep him healthy for quarterback. Can't play him on defense. And Sessions is in the game. It's a pick up of 5 for Bentonville and another first down.
Well, I'll tell you, Sessions made a great break on the ball. I mean, if you recall, that play went down pretty close to the line of scrimmage. Sessions there, and he started from free safety.
Power formation. Hartman is the deep back. Has good blocking in front, but Springdale stands him up after a gain of 2 or 3. Gang tackling by the Bulldogs, and there's Venable, who's got a sweat-soaked dark jersey for playing offense and defense tonight.
Well, Hartman's coming out for a play, looks like, and is that Christian's coming in?
They're both dangerous. Christians is the back behind Schlagenhoff. It's second down and 7 to go for Bentonville at the Springdale 27-yard line. Schlagenhoff wants to throw quick. He's got some running room. He tucks it, and here he comes. He's going to go in inside the 20, inside the 10, lowers his head, and is all the way down to the 7-yard line. Schlagenhoff had plenty of running room that time, and Chris Fancher stopped him from scoring a touchdown.
Well, Schlagenhoff got up pretty excited. He felt like he delivered a pretty good blow. It actually knocked his helmet off. He got up pretty excited. He's fired up. He has his team down to the 7-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Rick, it's neat to see the emotion of high school kids. I mean, you watch football on Sunday, you see the professional guys, but you watch them on Friday and Saturday, you see when it's fun, when it's emotional.
Pitch to Hartman. Can he get around the end? Springdale's got pursuit. He cuts inside, and Hartman's got a touchdown. Hartman made a good play. He is tough to stop. Man-to-man, Adam Johnson was out there in great position, but this back is so good. He cut back inside, scores the touchdown, and Bentonville has the lead back with 4:34 to go.
Tell you, Hartman strung it out all the way outside. We were, like you said, we were in good position, but he is so quick, starting and stopping. His acceleration is really good. That was just a great run.
Here's the kick. It's up. It's out of sight. This guy is the longest kicker we've seen all year. Kick is good. 4:34 to go. Bentonville 28, Springdale 21. It's 28-21, 4:34 to go. Johnson will be the quarterback when Springdale gets the ball. 3 deep for Springdale on the kick. Another high deep kick. Forget that one. Ferris catches it 5 yards deep. That means you can't come out. There's 4:34 for Springdale to try and tie the game again. Springdale has moved the ball great lengths in this game, particularly in the second half. Bulldogs will be back here at Gerald Williams Bulldog Stadium next Friday night against Van Buren. Now Martinez is back in the game. This is Brandon Martinez. He's a sophomore. He can throw the football as he completed an 8-yard pass on that last drive. He's got 3 wide right, 2 wide left. Martinez drops back. He's going to throw. He throws a dart to Ferris. He makes the catch at the 35. That's 15 yards and a first down.
Martinez obviously is the second-string quarterback that throws the ball a lot. Johnson's second-string quarterback that runs the ball a lot. Johnson's checking in right now. Martinez has a very active arm. New to the system, sophomore, obviously one of the guys we're looking for in the future to an excellent route to Ferris.
Clock stopped as the play went out of bounds. A first down at the 35-yard line. Ferris made another catch. Johnson down under center. He gives to the up back Venable, and no running room there. That Bentonville front line stopped that play for nothing.
Got a Bentonville player hurt on the field. You know, it's those defensive players always tough to be on a defensive line when you get somebody stopped like that, because those mean old defensive backs, and I mean those guys are nutso, Rick. They'll come flying up there, and they don't hit the offensive guy. They hit those big defensive tackles right in the small of the back. It just crushes them. I think that's what we got happening right here.
We've got an injury timeout. We'll tell you about it when we come back. 4:08 to go in the game. It's Bentonville 28 and Springdale 21. Michael Sapino shaken up. He does go off on his own power. That's good. Never want to see anybody get hurt in a game. Martinez is back at quarterback. It's second down and 9. A long 9, nearly 10 for Springdale. He's got 3 wide left. Martinez drops back. He has time. He throws to Leahy. He dropped it. Leahy had the ball for at least a 5-yard gain. Would have turned and made at least a couple more. Made it closer to first down territory. He couldn't hold on. He was thinking about what he was going to do with it before he caught it. It's third down and 9 for Springdale with 3:49 to go in the game.
Well, you hate to drop that ball at this point in the game. You've got a new quarterback in here, a young sophomore. Just the more completions, the longer shorts you have, the more confidence builds. And, you know, what we need right now is we need about a 10-yard gain or more to get first down and keep this drive alive.
It's third down. Martinez takes the snap. Pressure comes. It's a screen. Leahy's got it. He's going to go over the 40. He's going to get about 2 yards shy of a first down. And I'm guessing that Springdale will go for this, but he got close enough that Springdale could go for it on a screen pass from Martinez to Leahy. They needed 9, and they got 7. And it's fourth down and 2 at the Springdale 43. And this becomes the biggest play of this football game. 2 wide right. Leahy is a blocking back. They tried to draw Bentonville offsides. That didn't work, and now Martinez is going to call timeout. 3:11 to go in the game. Timeout, 4th and 2 for Springdale. Bulldogs trail the Tigers 28-21. Springdale lines up as if to punt. Bentonville doesn't believe it. And Gary Ware is telling his team, don't even think about dropping back. Let's see if Leahy does punt the ball. 3:11 to go. Gus would be gambling on his defense if they do punt it. Leahy is going to punt it. What a punt! It's a sensational kick. It takes a Bentonville bounce, though. The ball hit and rolled back. What a kick by Leahy. There's a Springdale man down. That's Smith. Now he's back up. The ball is dead at the 16-yard line. And Springdale, which can score in a hurry, is counting on its defense. 2 first downs for Bentonville, and the game's probably over. Springdale must make a defensive stand here. The ball starts at the 17-yard line.
Well, it looks like Springdale has 1 timeout left, Rick. And, you know, Bentonville, you're sure, is going to keep the ball on the ground, just try to eat up as much of that clock as they can. Springdale needs to get down, get that ball tackled as fast as they can, get set back up. Don't waste any time at all.
at the 17-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. They give it to Hardman. He gets a big hole, breaks through it, is up over the 20. He had plenty of running room, and then Springdale closed it very fast. It's going to be a 4-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 6. And every yard becomes critical because every second is precious at this point. 2nd down and 6 at the 21-yard line.
Well, they need a big stop here, Rick. In fact, they need to stop on the next 2 down so they can get to that last time out and get the ball back with, maybe a minute left.
Bentonville's using the play clock wisely. They get it right up the middle, and that's going to be close to a 1st down up to the 25-yard line. They give it to the upback that time, and that's Clark, and he's made some good gains. And now comes 3rd down and 1. Bentonville was stopped on 4th and 1 earlier tonight at the Springdale 25. Springdale's chances may ride on this play because Bentonville has used the clock so well that it's under 2 minutes. 3rd down and 1, and the game may be decided on this play at the Bentonville 26. Power formation, give to the back. It's going to be close. I think he's going to get a 1st down. He keeps plunging forward for extra yardage. That's Christians.
I believe that's
and
the 1st down,
Ray. 1st down for Bentonville, and the clock stops. 1:43 to go. That may be the 1st down that takes Springdale out of this game.
Well, we've seen quite a ball game here. Bentonville can probably just kneel on the ball 2 or 3 times and the game will be over.
Springdale has 1 timeout left. So if they don't make a 1st down, they may force a punt with very few seconds left. Schlagenoff, the senior veteran, is using the clock wisely. Hartman is tackled at the 31. He picks up 3 yards, and Springdale's going to call timeout right there. 1:16 to go. Timeout on the field. Bentonville 28, Springdale 21. Gus Malzahn wishes he had at least 1 timeout left. Bentonville has used the clock wisely. The Tigers have not beaten Springdale since 1995, only once in the last 10 years, and a win here would propel them to 6-0. Hartman is hit behind the line of scrimmage, breaks 1 tackle, finally goes down, but there's only 1:08 to go, and Springdale's got to get up quickly, make them set that 25-second clock, but I think Robert's right. They do. The ball will be snapped here with about 35 seconds to go, and then Bentonville doesn't even have to punt. They can just let the clock expire. The Tigers, unless they fumble on this play, are going to go to 6-0.
Well, Rick, they started the clock. There was 56 seconds, and they didn't start the 25-second clock until there was 42 seconds there. I don't know what happened there.
Whatever happened will leave Springdale short of chances. 29 seconds to go, and Bentonville's going to beat Springdale for just the 2nd time in 11 years. Christians takes the ball. He was bobbling it before he goes down. It's shy of a 1st down, but it won't matter. The clock's going to expire. 19 seconds. It's down to 14. They're going crazy on the Bentonville sidelines. This senior-dominated team has just gone to 6-0 and leads the 5A West with a 4-0 record. For the Springdale Bulldogs, 4-3 on the season, and the Bulldogs may have to win all 3 remaining games to get into the playoffs. The final score tonight was Bentonville 28, Springdale 21. Back to visit with Gus Malzahn right after this. Right after the ball game, Gus, your immediate thoughts on the game?
Well, a little disappointed. Our kids played their hearts out again. It just seems like we're losing a lot of close ones. Those are the toughest ones to deal with. Bentonville's a good team, and we had our chances.
Lost your quarterback, and yet your backups did a very credible job.
They really did, and they had got a lot of reps this week in practice, and they both came in and did a good job. Dusty Johnson, our junior, Brandon Martinez, our sophomore. I think Moody's ankles hurt pretty good, so they might get most of the reps this coming week.
How about your defense against the Bentonville offense?
As banged up as we are, we're super proud of our defense, and they did a good job. And they're big up front, and they do a good job executing.
That's Gus Malzahn. Next week, right back here against Van Buren. See you next week on Springdale Football.